This is the Giants Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Francisco Giants, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yo, what's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Locked On Giants Postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E. Engel. You may know me as the former producer for the Murph and Mac Morning Show on KMBR, or maybe from some of these other Locked On Sports postcasts we do. We also do the Locked On 49ers and Locked On Warriors postcast as well. But today, the Giants had yet another come-from-ahead loss as they fell to the Milwaukee Brewers 5-4. And Wilson Contreras launched a solo home run in the bottom of the ninth to spoil the Willy Adames homecoming, during which he smacked 2 home runs of his own. And Carson Whisenhunt's numbers weren't great today, but he battled on the mound and showed some grit in his 4 innings, some things we can glean from him going into next season. The theme of our shows continue. It's about the only thing we're watching the Giants for at this point. And nevertheless, despite the grittiness from Carson Whisenhunt and the 2 home runs from Willy Adames, the Giants still found a way to lose again. And also, despite some of that 9th inning magic that they got in the top of the 9th, still not enough as they fall to the Milwaukee Brewers 5-4. They're now 7 games under 500. We'll break it all down, but first, I want to thank all of you for watching us on the Locked On Giants YouTube channel. Please, if you aren't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button right now. Thanks also for listening on the Locked On Giants podcast feed. However you're tuning in, we appreciate it. Make sure to check out the Locked On Giants Daily Show for more in-depth coverage. My guy, Alan Stiles, does a great job, and we are still trying to find a time that will work for me and Alan. We just got to get on the same page. My schedule has been absolutely crazy this last week, especially. So hopefully we'll be able to get a time where Alan can come on the postcast and we can do a little crossover show with Alan. But until then, I mean, the Giants for today, just more heartbreak, just more being miserable in Milwaukee. The Giants, it started out good. Willy Adames gets that nice video board, treatment. He comes back to Milwaukee. They give him the here's all the great memories montage. He gets the nice standing ovation from the crowd. And first pitch in his first at bat, bam, 419 feet, well over the left center field wall, and puts the Giants on the board early. First pitch of the at-bat, he just absolutely killed it. A fastball pretty much right down the middle, and he jumped all over that one. You could tell that he was just happy to be back in Milwaukee. He wore the yellow sleeve on his arm. He wore it on his around his ankles too. The I guess they're ankle sleeves, or I guess they're like probably compression sleeves, but nonetheless, he wore the yellow instead of the purple that he's been wearing with the Giants, just a nod to his time in Milwaukee. I got no problem with that. Maybe some people might, feel some type of way about a guy showing his connection to a former team. I don't really see a problem with that. He had some great memories there. He played a lot of baseball there. It's what put him on the map, and that's essentially that place made him, his play there earned him the contract that he's got now, which is generational wealth. And I don't think that you can hate a guy for reflecting on that time positively. And Willy Adames just seems like that type of guy, right? Like he's a positive energy guy. He's not going to sit there and be the villain of anybody's story. He's not gonna hate a lot of people. He doesn't seem like a guy who's got a lot of hate in his heart going out there in any circumstance. He's always kind of chummy with everybody out there on the field. It doesn't mean he's not a competitor. So I got no problem with Willy Adames doing this. You saw him lock in despite the positive camaraderie, more or less, that he was sharing with the Brewers and their fan base. You still saw him launch 2 home runs against his former team today. So again, absolutely zero problem with him showing a little bit of love to the fans in Milwaukee there. But the Giants, they continue to start to build a little bit of a lead early on. Luis Matos then in the second inning hits a solo home run of his own. By the way, Matos, a little nice day at the dish for Luis Matos, gave the Giants some life there in the 9th inning. We'll get into that shortly. But that solo home run that Matos had was also hit not to the same exact spot that Adames hit his, but same general location. He did not get as much of it as Adames did, but still 391 feet, pretty solid whack from Luis Matos on that swing. So nice to see Matos getting into a little bit of a rhythm offensively in this one. It was good that he was able to reward Bob Melvin for leaving him in that 9th inning. But before we get to that, the Brewers, they really changed this game. I thought they scored a couple of runs in the 4th inning to tie it up. But then in the 7th inning, the Brewers scored 2 more runs, and it really put the Giants kind of behind the eight. I mean, obviously behind the eight ball. It put the Giants down 2 runs heading into the later innings of this one. But it was the Wilson Contreras double to me in that bottom of the 7th inning that really was the turning point in today's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And the Giants were playing some decent defense too. I mean, the pitching was pretty solid. The relief pitching specifically was very good. We'll also get to Carson Whisenhunt's day a little bit later on in the show. But in that 7th inning, it gets a little dicey when Joey Lucchesi comes in for Jose Butto, and he drills the 9th hitter. And you never want to drill the 9th hitter in any lineup. Sets up the top of the order. Bryce Terang then singles on a bunt to the down the third baseline, puts runners at first and second. And then William Contreras, the same guy who ended up delivering the walk-off home run, smacks a line drive double, and run scores, puts the insurance run there at third base. Then, after an intentional walk, an Andrew Vaughn ground ball allows Bryce Terang to score. So that double really set up the rest of the inning, or the next run in the inning to score, which kind of gave the Brewers the win in this one, because in the top of the 8th, Willy Adames comes back and smacks his 2nd home run of the game. And I saw someone comment early on, Corpo 24 says, seems like Adames likes hitting in Milwaukee more than Oracle. Well, that first home run would have absolutely been a home run at Oracle, a home run in 30 out of 30 parks. But his 2nd home run, 23 out of 30 parks, it's a home run. And guess which one of the 7 it's not a home run at? That's right, Oracle Park. So I get where you're coming from, man. His numbers looked a lot better in Milwaukee, and a big part of that is because of the dimensions of the field out there. And the Willy Adames is a guy who loves to hit into the gaps. That's where most of his power is. It isn't from pulling the ball to straight left. It's going into the left center field gap or the right center field gap. And the gaps, obviously, at Oracle Park are much, much, much deeper than they are out here at, I can't even remember what this park is called, because I always just want to say Miller Park. It's like American Family Field or something like that. It's, American Family Field. So I always want to say Miller Park because that's what it is in my brain still. But they're the Brewers. They should play at Miller Park. That's what makes sense. Nonetheless, Willy Adames likes hitting to the gaps in whatever the hell that field is called out there in Milwaukee a lot more than he does at Oracle Park, because the fences are a lot shorter in those gaps, and we know this as Giants fans, especially at this point in the season, watching Willy Adames continue to hit those deep flyouts to the warning track at Oracle Park. So, but here in this situation, it's a home run, his 22nd of the season, and Willy Adames, even though the batting average hasn't been great in the last 20, 30 games, the power numbers have still kind of been there. So he's still hanging on to a little bit of a decent-ish season, or he's a lot better right now than he was at the beginning of the season. At least we can all at least agree on that. 22nd home run of the season. I don't think that's the problem with Adames this year. It's been the inconsistent batting average. It's a 224 batting average for the year, and he's been going through some slumps at the plate where he'll be hitting a $115 for 20, 30 games at a time, and that just can't continue to happen. He's a streaky guy, we know this, but we just need him to be a little bit more consistent, because you got so many damn streaky guys on this team that all seem to want to slump at the same time. Then with the after a clean bottom of the 8th, Giants come back down 1 in the top of the 9th, and they tie it up. I mean, somehow, some way, tie this game up with 2 outs. Luis Matos doubles, and it sets up a nice little situation for the Giants. That double, by the way, came only because Frelick decided to dive for a ball that was in front of him in center field. He probably should have just played that straight up, and Matos would have just had a single, but he dives. The ball gets by him. Great job backing up the play by the Brewers right fielder, because if he had not backed up that play, Luis Matos would have kept on running. Instead, he gets a double out of the play. Then Dom Smith comes up and singles on a ball that hits off of McGill's leg. And if it gets through, Matos probably scores on that play, probably goes right into center field. But because it stayed in the infield, sets up a first and third situation still with 2 outs. And then a wild pitch, of all things, a wild pitch on a spiked ball it was a fastball that hit the dirt like 3 feet in front of the plate, and it kicked away. So it allowed Matos to score from third. Pat Bailey then promptly strikes out swinging, with Tyler Fitzgerald standing there in scoring position on second base. And then before you know it, you got 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, and then up comes William Contreras to launch his 14th home run of the season, and just stick a knife right into the heart of all Giants fans everywhere, because yet again, the Giants find another way to lose a baseball game. They fall to 61-68 on the season, 7 games below 500. It has just been an absolute just disaster since the All-Star break. It has been so horrendous. This team just finds way to lose. At least the one positive I can say for the Giants in this one, at least this game wasn't impossible to watch, man. Like I at least had a little bit of fun watching Willy Adames back out there in Milwaukee, and seeing him give the Giants some life did make me feel a little bit of positive feelings. What did not give me very many positive feelings was the fact that the Giants only had 3 hits until the 9th inning. They picked up 2 more in the 9th, but all 3 of their hits prior to the 9th inning, all home runs. Like, can we do something other than like hit a home run or record an out? I mean, just a base hit would really go a long way for this team. Nobody on this team seems to be able to get a base hit when they desperately need it. And that's what's wrong with this offense. It's been the same thing all season long. So we're not breaking any news here. The Giants continue to be bad at the things that they're bad at, and be, kind of average to sort of good at the things that they're average to sort of good at. I wouldn't say the Giants are very good at really anything at this particular point in the season. We got to take a quick break here. On the other side, we'll talk about Carson Whisenhunt's day on the bump. We'll get into what you'll be talking about, and we'll give you a player of the game. All that and more coming up next on the Locked On Giants postcast. Today's show is sponsored by 5 Hour Energy. Time to fuel up and turn it up with 5 Hour Energy Transfusion. This grape, ginger, and lime flavored shot brings the iconic taste of a golf course favorite to a non-alcoholic boost. Perfect for sinking birdies or making great memories with friends. It's a hole-in-one for your energy game. Whether you're out on the course or just need a little energy push to power through your day, 5 Hour Energy Transfusion delivers the clubhouse flavor you love without ever leaving the green. And for me, I mean, if you guys know, if you listen to the show, you know that I probably know that I also have a regular 9-to-5 job, and I'm running out of steam every day in the second half of the day. Around 3:00, I just hit that wall, and I know I got to keep the energy high if I'm going to make it all the way through these boring Giants games and be able to deliver you guys a quality Locked On Giants postcast. So I always turn to 5 Hour Energy. It gives me that energy boost without making me feel the negative side effects of other caffeinated drinks. It doesn't make my stomach all upset, and it tastes great. And also, I love having it out there on the golf course. And golf is all about good times with good people and good flavors. The grape, ginger, lime flavor of 5 Hour Energy Transfusion gives you the best parts of your clubhouse go-to without leaving the golf course or chasing down the bev cart. Now you can amp up the fun for everyone. Just buy, snap, and enter for a chance to win a dream golf trip for 2 to any golf tournament in the USA. Tee up that trip. Visit 5hewin.com for full rules and entry. No purchase necessary. Excludes the Masters tournament. Ends October 31st, 2025. Welcome back to the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel, and today the Giants find a way to lose in Milwaukee, miserable in Milwaukee, 5-4 loss to the Milwaukee Brewers. And despite a great day by Willy Adames, 2 home runs in his return to Milwaukee, the Giants still find a way to lose. And let's just get into it right now. I think you already know who it's going to be, but today's player of the game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And I see my guy Jace. Adames will be player of the day. Yeah, it's a pretty no-brainer decision today. We're going Willy Adames. I mean, it was the only spark in today's game, and it was a fun little storyline to follow for Willy. I mean, you know that there's a lot of emotion for this guy returning here to Milwaukee. There's a lot of emotion in everything this guy does. So it's no surprise that he had the reaction he did to the crowd, the ovation, the video board montage, and he stepped up and delivered in the moment. As I said at the top of the show, I don't hate a guy like Willy Adames, who I personally like when my competitors are fiery. You know what I mean? Like, I like a little bit of bad blood. Willy Adames is not that guy, but that doesn't mean that I hate him. It doesn't mean that his way is the wrong way. He's going to play the game with a lot of love for his teammates and for his opponents in a lot of situations, and he's still going to produce. And today showed you that, it's not always one or the other. You can have someone who's a competitor, a fiery competitor, and also has a lot of love for his opponents, even if it's a past team that he has played for in the past that is sitting in front of him today. And I don't really got too much of a problem with that at all. Willy Adames delivered what he was supposed to do. It was just the rest of the Giants. I will say Luis Matos delivered today as well, but everybody else, I mean, you only had 3 guys who came up with hits. One of them was Dom Smith with that pinch hit single. But other than that, it was the Willy Adames and Luis Matos show. Every single other Giant in this game didn't get a hit. So, I mean, again, it's just the inconsistency of the offense. And I mean, aside from that, you're going to be talking about a lot of stuff aside from that. But one thing I do think you will be talking about, other than this inconsistent offense, which has just been the ongoing discussion of the season, is Carson Whisenhunt's day on the mound. So let's get into that, which you'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
And I kind of liked what I saw from Carson Whisenhunt out there. I mean, don't get me wrong, the location got a little wild at times. There were some 1-2 counts and 0-2 counts where it feels like he kind of wasted a pitch where he didn't throw as competitive of a 2-strike pitch as he would have liked to see, but he wouldn't completely lose it at that point. A lot of times he'd waste one and come back with another that was pretty competitive. And he was doing a good job of, you heard Javi Lopez talking about it on the broadcast a lot if you were watching on NBC Sports Bay Area, but he was saving that changeup for big situations. Javi kept saying, you got to protect that put out pitch. And that's exactly what Whisenhunt did. And I like the way that he kind of attacked guys today. He was able to get a double play on Sal Frelick early on in this one after a leadoff single. It was a great situation or it was a great win for Whisenhunt in that at bat, because Frelick had fouled off like 7 or 8 pitches in that at bat. He just fouled off pitch after pitch after pitch, and on the 12th pitch of the at bat, he got Frelick to roll over on a sinker and got the double play. And I really liked that Whisenhunt didn't really change his approach in that at bat. He didn't allow the MLB level of competition to bully him into throwing a pitch that he probably shouldn't be throwing. He stuck to his plan of attack. He trusted his pitches, and he did what he was supposed to do in that situation. Now, it took him 12 pitches to get through the one at bat. That's always a little bit of a win for the batter, no matter what in that situation, no matter what the outcome is of that AB, because you get the guy to just throw so many damn pitches. But it's good to see him just continue to keep battling and stay within himself and not try to stretch it and become something that he's not, do something that he shouldn't be trying to do out there, sticking with the plan of attack. And I like that approach. That's a solid, consistent way to attack batters. And I think with that sinker changeup combination, he's going to get a lot of situations like that going forward. So good job by Whisenhunt in that situation. Then the very next batter, this one was kind of interesting to me. Durbin tried to lay down a bunt with 2 outs and in third base playing a little deep. Well, it didn't matter because Carson Whisenhunt showed you that pitchers are athletes too, man, because he came off that mound and made a great sliding catch. The bunt kind of popped it up a little bit. And Whisenhunt, man, he made a great sliding little basket catch coming in on the play. So solid play by Carson Whisenhunt. Shows off the athleticism, shows off the ability to get that double play when you need it in that inning. He did have a little bit of a wild streak today. Like he did hit a guy. You as I said, you saw the command be iffy at times, and it did take him a lot of pitches to get through these 4 innings, but he still only gave up 2 runs. And I thought he was overall okay against this very, very, very tough Brewers offense. This is right now the best team in all of baseball. The Milwaukee Brewers are 81-48. Let me repeat that again. 81-48. This baseball team is very, very, very good. And the Giants are 61-68. So they'll, come up with your own adjective for what the Giants are right now. But it's not good. They're definitely not good. If the Brewers are a good baseball team, they are not very similar to the Giants, so we cannot use that same term to describe both teams. However, Whisenhunt today showed you a little bit of something for the future. I like the approach that he had out there. I just would have liked to see him throw a few more strikes. He threw 88 pitches, 54 of them for strikes. So, I mean, a lot of them were foul balls. A lot of them were long ABs that he suffered through. Got 5 ground outs, only 2 flyouts. And overall, as I said, I think he did a decent job sticking to his game plan, going out there, battling, and relying on what he's good at, which is the sinker and the changeup. He didn't try to do too much with anything else. The slider wasn't really a factor very much. He threw about 10 sliders, but not very many of them in today's game. He had a 14% whiff rate across all his pitches. Just not very not generating a lot of strikeout stuff, but really doing a good job of generating soft contact and ground balls. 85.2 average exit velo. And as I said, he got 5 ground outs in just those 4 innings of work. So I like all of these kind of advanced metrics, like looking at where the balls are going, how they're hit. It's all what he has. Like, it all plays to what he does well, which is he's going to induce a lot of contact, a lot of soft contact. That changeup and sinker combo is going to get him a lot of double plays in the big leagues. And you saw a little bit of that tonight. So shout out Carson Whisenhunt for battling today through those 4 innings, even though he didn't get the win. And, the Giants overall just finding ways to lose ball games. Willy Adames was solid today. Luis Matos was solid today. Everybody else, not really worth mentioning. So that's all the time that we got for you guys today on the Locked On Giants postcast. But before we get out of here, I want to give you guys a quick update because I've been meaning to give you guys this update for the last couple of shows, and it's on me that I haven't put this out there already. If you follow Brian Peacock and the Locked On 49ers channel already, you might have already heard this, but we got a new thing in the works for you guys, the 49ers Squad Show. It will be replacing the Locked On 49ers postcast, and it will be me, Brian, and another guest who we will introduce tomorrow on our launch of the Locked On 49ers Squad Show. We'll be doing our first show starting immediately after 49ers and Chargers, and we're going to be doing one weekday show during the week, and we'll be doing a post-game show after every single 49ers game. Show will be an hour long, a full hour long, with me, Brian, and one other former 49er who we will reveal at the launch of tomorrow's show. So make sure you're tuning in for that. You won't want to miss it all season long. It will be a very, very, very good time. Hop on over to the Locked On 49ers channel on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast, and make sure you're tuned in and following. You won't want to miss it. It'll be a great show all season long. Hopefully better than what the Giants have been giving us lately, man, because 61 and 68 is not very fun to watch, man, and I am getting pretty damn tired of watching this baseball team. It's all the time that we got for you guys today here on the Locked On Giants postcast. I'm your host, Eric Triple E Engel. We'll see you next time. Peace.